I'm Gorilla Monsoon.
I'm Bobby the Brain Heenan.
And I have no idea what the hell we're doing here.
Does he ever?
Gene, we're recording a promo for a podcast.
What the hell is that?
It's a show where...
Promo, that's where you hype something.
Why don't you be serious?
He asked.
Oh, Heenan, damn it, I know what a promo is. What the hell is a podcast?
It's a show where people, they talk into microphones, usually from their house.
Naked, too.
Stop it.
So, why do they do that?
I'm not sure, really.
Definitely not for the money.
Oh.
You better believe it.
So, what's this one called?
Let me see. The Hot Tag Podcast.
Whoopee.
Does anyone listen to this?
Well, I don't know. I'm sure
The
someone...
government is testing it as an alternative to the chair.
Will you stop that? That's not nice.
Oh.
It's illegal in 11 states.
Quiet. And welcome to the Hot Tag Podcast.
They're not really naked, are they?
I certainly hope not.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Hot Tag Wrestling Show. I am Chris E. Francisco. That is George the Animal Rogers. George, what's going on, man? How are you?
Chris, I am standing tall on the wings of my dreams.
You are beautiful for that. Just incredibly beautiful. What a great show.
What a great show.
We're aging ourselves, but dear Lord, what a great show. One of the more underrated ones.
People don't even know. They don't understand, and they refuse to acknowledge greatness. And it's a damn shame. I
agree. I'm going to let people know about it right now.
No, they don't need to know.
They
don't know already. Then there's just there you go.
Now
we're shilling for Miller Boyette here.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. By the way, people want to know like how the chemistry with those two still are 40 years later. Just find either of them on Instagram, and they were at a Comic-Con this past weekend, and they were playing. They on both of their accounts, George. I don't know if you looked after I sent you a couple. On both of their Instagram accounts, they were doing different reels in different parts of the hotel where they were in character, and they were like doing skits as their characters all over the hotel, and it was like they were causing all these problems. I'm like, oh my God, like the chemistry of turning on and off is insane.
Balky's just, he's just trying to do his own thing. And Cousin Larry, he's got a get rich quick scheme. And
he does.
It's going to fail in 22 minutes.
Yeah. And he's got every single morning, he's got to wake up and run 15 miles. And then Balky, you run 15 miles every day? Yes. Wow. How early do you wake up? Because I don't see it. You're sleeping when I wake up. It's more scheming.
It's all about the schemes.
It is. All right. So we are here today to talk about Raw versus Nitro, June 3rd, 1996. We're in a new month here. I think we're 1 week away from the debut of Mr. Kevin Nash. So this week is not the debut of Nash. I believe that's next week, but we'll get into that after another wonderful 2-hour program of Monday Nitro. But first, there's a couple things we're just going to touch on real quick. I know George want to talk about Goldberg. I definitely want to talk about this Seth Rollins situation, and then we'll get right into Raw versus Nitro. But George, Saturday night's main event was this past Saturday. Obviously, not the best show ratings wise. It's 27% drop from May's show. I know you have a thought on that, as do I. Which is the same thought.
Yeah.
The WWE just did not care that they had 2 shows this past weekend that they should have heavily promoted.
No
promotion,
just didn't. No real build to any of these events. I mean, you had a little bit with Evolution. With Lyra and Becky and Bailey, there is a storyline that's there. So it's like, okay, that was something. We got that no holds bar match between Jade and Naomi, which was a lot better than you would think concerning Jade, but Jade is also improving, and I'll eat crow. I thought she was terrible when I saw her matches from AEW. Once she's come over, she has shown improvement, and it's very refreshing to see that she isn't this one trick pony like the Ultimate Warrior. He did one thing and like that was it. And you weren't getting him to do anything else. Goldberg, another thing. It's the spirits of Jackhammer. That's it. Like anything longer than 5 minutes, he's horribly exposed. Ask William Regal about that. He'll tell you a story. But like she's evolving and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly great to see because it shows that not so much that like she's working with better people, but she's taken the time to want to learn the craft.
You could tell she's definitely been doing that. Yeah.
Wants to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's very refreshing. But like that match had a build all the way from when Naomi attacked her at the end of last year. So there was a build for that. But everything else, you had a title match, or you had 2 title matches. The Dodie women's title and the women's world heavyweight title had like 2 weeks of build, and it was like nothing. And it felt lazy as shit to where they're like, oh, we're gonna let the champions pick their opponents. Why? Why don't you just hold? Or if you have this time, and you clearly had time to build the Evolution.
Yeah.
At any point, like a month prior, hold a Battle Royal on Raw, a Battle Royal on SmackDown. For the women, whoever wins, boom, you get the title shot at Evolution.
Yeah.
And then from there, you have 3 weeks to build the winner of the Battle Royal and the champion. You could have built storylines behind it. Yes, I know with Rhea and Io, there is the whole like Rhea has never beaten Io Sky, so like there was that, but that's not enough.
Right.
Like I need a little more. And with Trish and Tiffy, like that could kind of be seen as like maybe Trish passing the torch to essentially this generation's version of Trish Stratus. I mean, we know it's not. I mean, we know because Trish and Tiffy are 2 completely, but it's the same like optics wise when you look and you're like, oh, there is something kind of there, like similarity wise, but like they had the tag titles, which are like they barely do anything with the women's tag titles anyway. But despite all of that, it was a good show. Like, despite the misses from the builds, this was a very good show.
Yeah, I mean, overall, we've 2 big things came out of that show. One being the injury to Seth Rollins, which we'll touch on, but the other one that's been causing probably the most noteworthiness, I guess you could say, the most controversy and which is odd to me, but we'll get into it, is Bill Goldberg. Goldberg had his retirement match, his longest match, bell to bell, in 22 years, which is crazy. Over 20 years, I think they said. The match was about 15 minutes long. Gunther, of course, got the win. Goldberg gets his retirement speech near the end, gets cut off after about 30 seconds. That caused a pretty significant uproar. Goldberg went on Ariel Helwani's podcast. I mean, he said everything with as much respect as he could. Like, he doesn't name names. He doesn't talk trash on any individual. But he just basically said it didn't go the way that he was told it was going to go. He said everything with the match was great. It was awesome. It was everything he had hoped. So there's credit to Gunther, although the IWC will tell you that he didn't thank Gunther because the entire IWC was in the backstage area. The entire show.
They're all back there.
They're all back there. They were all back there.
Dude, Sean Ross Sapp lives in the backstage.
You're right. Yeah, he lives in a lot of those dudes, pants, but
especially Ricochet's.
Especially Ricochet. Then, but basically he kind of just went on to say that, the build wasn't what he had hoped. And that plays right into what George and I said, that there was no planning for this whole thing. He still talked about, he was told that he was going to get more than a minute or so, plenty of time to talk at the end, because that wasn't his idea. That was somebody else's idea. And then it was cut off. And it was said to him, well, was that a network move? Was that a WWE move? And he had a good point. He said it doesn't matter. They plan for these things. And it's true. That's if you need an overrun, all you have to do is ask the network for an additional 30 to 40-second overrun. Not a big deal. It happens all the time, especially in sports. So yeah, I mean, look, I think part of Goldberg's problem there was a little bit of whining. I feel it did come off in parts to me a little ungrateful, but then I have to kind of again think of it on the other side. I can't just look at it from a wrestling fan listening on Twitter point of view. I have to think of it and sometimes put my shoe on the shoe on the other foot. But like, look, if I was promised a bunch of these things and I was told that this was going to happen, that was going to happen, I flew 100 people into this show to be part of this. I guess in some ways, George, I can understand his frustration. In other ways, I think it is kind of a woe is me, Bill Goldberg, or a whining. But, Goldberg has never really come off as the kind of guy to me that whines about things. He usually is the kind of guy, and correct me if you disagree, he's always come off to me as kind of a straight shooter. If you ask him a question, he answers it. He doesn't really beat around the bush a lot. What's your thoughts on this whole Bill Goldberg thing?
Didn't he whine that Vince told him he was going to get a retirement match and it didn't happen? And then
he did, yeah.
So I mean, there's that, but I mean that's really the only thing I see. I mean, he does kind of gripe at Brett because Brett won't let go that his got kicked in the head. But
I mean
Brett's going to keep going on with that because here's the thing. Brett never got a retirement match.
Right.
Brett
yes,
didn't
he did.
Yeah, but after the injury, post-stroke.
Yeah.
Brett didn't get to go out in his terms.
Yeah, right.
There are a lot of wrestlers, a lot of legends in this business who have died too soon, had to have hung the boots up early due to medical reasons, who never got a final match. Triple H never got a final match.
Yeah.
Extremely deserving that he should have gotten his final, that he should have got a final Raw. Kevin Nash, I mean, say what you will about him, he never had like a big, like, this is my retirement ton. Like, I'm done after this.
Yeah.
You get a lot of guys who get that, and a lot of guys like that we follow, especially people that we're covering right now. Monday Night Wars thing, who never got a retirement match.
Yeah.
Bill Goldberg gets one. I'm not trying to shit on what Bill Goldberg did for the business wise, but I am going to say this when it comes in. You take away that streak from WCW, what the fuck has this guy actually accomplished in the business? Because all anybody ever really talks about is the 175 or 173-0. Like, that's all anybody ever talks about. I mean, they talk about the losing at Starrcade because Scott Hall and the Cattle Pride. And he beat Hogan for the title at the height. Well, I won't say the height. It was a 98. NWO was starting to wane at that point. But like, he beats Hogan clean on Nitro for the title. But that was also part of the streak. That was also during the streak era. But like, once the streak was over and you had to use him to further storylines, you got nothing.
I mean, I agree.
Couldn't speak. Couldn't work in a match unless it was under 5 minutes. I mean, and that was all pretty much exposed when he came over to WWE in 2003. Because Vince isn't just going to book you in squash matches, like you were before. I mean, yeah, he did have a couple, but like, you're going to get into a title program with Triple H. You're going to have to work a little.
You're going to have to talk. You're going to have to work.
Yeah, like, you got to like actually put forth. And this is what I was saying, like with Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill knew her limitations and was working to overcome them. Bill Goldberg, and this goes back to WCW, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. It's obvious. Think about WCW. Once they saw what they had with Goldberg, they basically told him, all right, that's it. This is all you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So why would he go back down to the power plant and like learn anything else, like learn the holds and like had day bumps when he's basically told, hey, you're going to do this. So that's what he did for his whole career.
Yeah.
And then he leaves in 2004 after this match with Brock Lesnar, is gone from the business for 12 years, comes back in 2016, and then just kind of wrestles like a handful of matches as it goes. And then he goes, oh, I want a retirement match. Dude, you were gone for 12 years. That little run you had with Brock Lesnar, that should have been the retirement. That should have been the run. That right there. But he keeps coming back. He kept coming back. Oh, well, I want my son to see. I want my son. Yeah, like I get it. Like your son saw you. Now he's like older. It's like, all right, well, I've seen this again. You've seen one Goldberg match. You've seen them all. This isn't it's like Warrior. It's one note. And like, yeah, it's like, and it's a big thing. It's like, oh, like this is the longest match he's had in 22 years. Well, for 12 of those years, he wasn't wrestling. So it's really just his longest match in 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
If you want to get like technical, but even then, like that was what, 4 times a year, 5 times a year?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I mean, like be glad you got the retirement match and they let you have it because it could have been like, no.
Hey, look, man, they could have given you Baron Corbin on WrestleMania for your final match.
Yeah, look at fucking Kurt Angle. You talk about retirement. Booker T, when's Booker T's retirement match?
Yeah.
I guess Booker T never officially retired.
No, I agree.
And his, and obviously his speech getting cut, like that's kind of shitty. Whether that was Peacock or WWE, probably Peacock, if I had to guess, concerning how they control that. Like they control what goes on. But I mean, yeah, like I can understand being bitter about that because you were promised one thing. But I mean, on the other side, just to kind of play devil's advocate, they did put his full retirement speech up on
the
YouTube channel, and it's getting a hell of a lot of views.
It is.
More people saw it on YouTube than would have seen it on Peacock.
Agree. Yeah.
So if anything, I'd be grateful at that.
Yeah, agree. I guess
nobody was giving a shit. But wait, is the Saturday Night's Main Event also air on TV?
Yes, NBC, right?
Well, then there you go. That's why I got cut. NBC.
So I guess my counter, if I'm going to play like you, devil's advocate, I don't blame the guy for coming back. If they're going to keep calling these guys to come back and pay them an inordinate amount of money.
But like, he was the one that reached out and wanted the retirement match because he was like, Vince told me he was going to give me one, and then he didn't. He got ousted from the he's gone from the company. So like, I guess it's like, all right, like we'll do this, but they clearly had no real plan.
I agree. No plan.
Like, fuck it. We got like Gunther. Let's do that. Because who else are you going to put him in the ring with? That's going to be safe. That's going to be safe, I should say.
The only other guy would have been someone who I wouldn't want to have gotten hurt, would have been like AJ or Randy Orton. But I don't want them getting hurt.
Yeah, exactly. You run the risk of them getting hurt. I mean, shit. I mean, after that match with Taker at Saudi, I'd be like, yeah, your idea for a retirement match is out the fucking window when you concussed yourself and almost fucking crippled The Undertaker.
Yeah, I agree with you on that for sure.
I mean, but hey, he got his retirement match and Gunther made him look like $1 million. I kind of wonder what William Regal's thoughts are on that, considering how he tried to do the same thing, almost 30 years prior and got fired for his efforts.
Yeah.
But I mean, oh man. I just had a thought. Gunther against peak William Regal.
So that would be a legit shoot brawl.
Give me that. Make it a triple threat and throw Fit Finley in there too.
Oh God.
Ugh, that's your main event. But before we
jump Sheamus in there.
Oh, banger after banger after banger. I think we just booked WrestleMania. There it is. Somebody do it.
Do it now. So just write it down and book it down now. The Las Vegas street fight.
Yeah, it'll be a 1 week build and nobody will be on TV.
That's right.
They'll just talk about it. Before we do jump into the thing, I want to ask you about Seth's injury.
So that was where I was going to go next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll let you go then.
Okay. So apparently, he does a moonsault. The first one he does like a springboard move onto LA Knight, and it looks like he landed weird on his right knee. He gets right back up. He does a springboard moonsault, lands on his feet. But again, that's an impact. If anyone who wants to go try to do a moonsault, my daughter does it in gymnastics. Like the impact on your knees is intense. And you gotta, have a strong lower half to protect that impact. And that's how ACLs are torn, because most ACL tear, 99% of ACL tears are non-contact injuries. So as soon as I heard that he was hurt and I watched a couple times the injury, I thought, oh, great. It's an ACL, because if that's what they're saying, he couldn't put much weight on it. How he landed, it wasn't any kind of an awkward move like what happened with him and Samoa Joe, where you could see his leg just twist in a weird, funky way. That's not normally how ACLs are torn. I thought, okay, that could be a really, really rough ACL tear. You're looking at anywhere between 8 to 12 months of recovery. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, now all of a sudden you have one side of reporters saying it's a legit injury. Even Meltzer, who will rip WWE any chance he get, did go on his show and say, every person that I think is credible has said to me, Seth is really hurt. It's not a work. Brian Alvarez, who I don't think knows anyone, so just probably talked to Meltzer, said, yeah, everyone I talked to over there said it's not a work, and if it is, it's a masterful job at what they're doing. So it came out again yesterday. I think Meltzer said that. So what he's being told is that Seth is hurt, but the severity is not mostly what they feared it was. But he still could miss 1 to 2 months. He's probably going to miss SummerSlam. SummerSlam might be the earliest we could see him do something, but they do expect him to miss 1 to 2 months, barring any kind of unforeseen issue. And then Seth Rollins was on the Rich Eisen show today, and he gave an update on his knee. And he said, blah, blah, blah. He knows when he's hurt. The move happened. I went to, Andrew's niece, Andrews Center, and right there, I believe in Alabama, Birmingham, right?
Because that's where Austin went.
That's where all the tippy top guys go when you're really hurt.
After that dude's name came to fame after he fixed Austin.
Yeah, and then he also fixed Triple H.
And Edge too. And Edge too. Yeah, like
James Andrews, man, is like the godfather of like massive injuries.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? James Andrews gets in before like Owen Hart. It's hilarious.
James Andrews gets in before Cyndi Lauper.
So Seth said, we went to go get an MRI, but there's so much swelling that we have to wait until the swelling goes down, it can be the case. There could be so much swelling to where right away they didn't get any updates. However, that was on Saturday. It's now Wednesday. You could have easily, right by now, have gotten an MRI and you would have been able to tell if there was an ACL tear. So we haven't heard anything on that end. George, could this have been the best or the worst timing for the Seth Rollins injury? Because now Roman is back, the real superstar of the company, clearly, based on the simple fact that dude's music hits and the entire wrestling world becomes unglued.
I was asleep during Raw. Now I didn't sleep because Raw was boring. I slept because I work at Amazon and it's fucking Prime. So I've been exhausted every single day I've come home. The fact that I'm even upright right now talking to you is a testament to, I guess, my endurance. But I am barely hanging on by a thread. Actually, no, didn't take any today. So No, because then I would be, because then I really would be asleep. But his music hit, and I fucking shot up. I was like, oh, it's the tribal chief. It's my tribal chief. He's back. Saluted and everything. Went to work next day, talked to a couple of people who watch wrestling like I do, and we just looked at each other like, God, the OTC is back. Like we're hyped, right? And then we have speculations of what's going to be. There's some thoughts that it's going to be a tag match. Roman and let's say Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. That's not what I think is going to happen. I think because your money match, this is going to be the one that people want to see. Roman, one-on-one, Braun Breaker. That's your money match. That's what people are going to want to see. And considering the promo that Heyman cut on Braun Breaker on Monday night, I don't know if you went back and saw that or if you watched it. That promo should have happened 2 weeks after WrestleMania.
I agree.
Why the fuck now do we do it? They're ice cold because they haven't done anything with them. And now Rollins is down. It's like, all right, now we're going to let Heyman hype these guys up because Rollins isn't there. And Rollins may have a legitimate injury. I don't know.
Right.
But at the same time, I can't help but think that this could be story. Because and it's like I've been saying over the last couple months when we talk about it, is the new form of kayfabe is working the dirt sheets and the IWC. So if all the dirt sheets are saying it's a legitimate injury, the IWC is in agreement that's a legitimate injury. Seth goes on Rich Eisen, the popular podcast, and says, oh, I know when I'm hurt. I know I know this is legit. To me, it's like this seems a little too
worky.
A little too that they're trying too hard to prove that it's a legitimate injury. But this is just me. Everybody, this is just my thoughts. It's like, wow, they're really kind of going out of their way to let us know that this is a legitimate injury. And on Monday night, Heyman's like, oh, we don't know the extent of Rollins' injury, so I'm going to leave it at that. We're not going to talk about it. It's like, all right, so you're going to ignore it, so that way those of us watching the show are going to forget about Rollins. So Heyman comes out, he hypes up Braun Breaker. I'm sure. And maybe another week or so, he hypes up Bronson Reed. He's going to hype these guys up. We're going to get them big and going. And all of a sudden, Rollins is going to come back. And we're going to be like, oh, shit, that's right. Rollins is here. And Rollins has the Money in the Bank briefcase. And at SummerSlam, we find out Gunther is going to be defending the World Heavyweight title against CM Punk. Now, Christopher, if you're booking this, wouldn't that be the perfect time for Rollins to reemerge and cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase?
Yeah. I think that's what they're, in my head, I agree with you. I think that's what they're doing now. They found an out on how to really plan a shocking return to get the title.
And SummerSlam is a lot closer than it has been in previous years.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's, we're not waiting until the end of August now. It's the beginning of August. So in essence, only 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah.
And they barely have any fucking matches made for that. So it's going to be another thrown together fucking build for
2 nights,
for
George.
shit. 2 nights. Yeah.
2 nights.
2 nights. So you know what this is going to be? This is going to be WrestleMania Part 2.
Yeah. I'm just, God, I didn't plan on getting mad tonight, but
I'm not trying to get you mad.
No, but the thing is, though, it's like I'm usually okay with a lot of things. I complain about things WWE does, but it takes a lot for me to actually say, I think AEW is the hotter product right now because I do think AEW right now has been riding a pretty significant good streak lately. That as the dumb shit that they do, at least they have planned out.
Are you not the
things.
one who sends us updates when their ratings are lower from the year before?
Oh no, their ratings are low, but I still feel like,
well, according to somebody, they get 500,000 a week on Max.
That's still terrible.
They're combining that with who's watching on TNT, and I'm like,
okay.
No,
So
because if that was the case, then they'd be then it would have had millions this whole time. So
yeah. So I just feel like at least AEW has planned out pay-per-views 5 weeks ahead of time.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Okay.
Not because I'm gonna jump on my usual fuck Tony Khan AEW bandwagon, but because I think the hottest product right now is TNA.
Oh, I mean, if they can get a television deal, that would matter. And I agree with you.
They have progressively gotten hotter to the point that Anthem is looking to renegotiate the TV deal and possibly put them on another network.
Which would be terrific.
Like Anthem, they have them, they're like, no, they're going to be on our channel, and then that's it. But they're seeing oh shit, people are showing up to these shows. More people are finding us on TV, if you can find fucking Access TV.
Mm-hmm.
More people are watching us. More eyes are getting to the product due to the partnership that they have with WWE right now. It's they're actually riding a pretty good wave.
Mm-hmm.
There's general interest in the shows. People want to know what's going on. Trick Williams is the TNA champion and he's an NXT star. So people are going to watch TNA because they want to see when that title is going to come back. They want to see who's going to take that title off. I think TNA is the hotter show. For some reason, while AEW and WWE have kind of been fighting for this top spot, fighting for a top spot, while AEW has been trying to fight for a top spot, and WWE has been trying so hard to maintain their composure or their status.
Mm-hmm.
Both are kind of AEW did just have a good pay-per-view, so that's why they're hot right now. But typically their weekly shows are ice fucking cold.
Mm-hmm.
And WWE right now, for some reason, they're just not booking far in advance. And I don't know if it's fear because they're worried someone's going to get injured, or
I just don't think they have the talent,
or if the writing staff just isn't on the same page right now.
That's a Triple H problem.
Yeah.
And so basically that was my point right before you discussed AEW was I can't remember a time that WWE just had no clue what they wanted to do for months. And that includes, I can't remember a time, even COVID time, when they had no clue what they wanted for what they were doing for a WrestleMania and then a SummerSlam. It's for now we're going on two of the biggest pay-per-view shows of the year, and the company has just no idea what they want to do. And, again, it goes back to the problems we had in the early to, the 2010s. They're just relying on the CM Punks, the Roman Reigns to carry this thing. And at some point, man, we've been talking about this now since, thank God, Roman actually did become the next big superstar that we were craving post John Cena. Mm-hmm. Dude, this company cannot produce stars. The bloodline turned into nothing except Roman Reigns.
They've had the opportunity to build stars, but
I agree.
But for some reason, it's they're too hesitant to pull the trigger. But when you look at the track record that they have no reason to be hesitant. Yeah. There isn't really anybody in recent memory who they pulled the trigger on and they're like, fuck, this was a bad idea.
Maybe Solo Sikoa.
But Solo hasn't gotten past the mid card.
Well, didn't he main event against Roman for the title?
He had a title shot against Roman, but we all knew he wasn't going to win.
Yeah. Okay.
We all knew he's not going to win. But right. Maybe Jacob Fatu is fucking is hot right now. Dude,
Jacob Fatu's
dude's
big,
fucking
yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
LA Knight is hot right now. You had the opportunity to make a legitimate star at LA Knight and have him win the Money in the Bank briefcase, but you went to old reliable, old glass knee Seth Rollins, who is quote unquote hurt. So if he's legitimate, if it's a legitimate injury, then it's like, all right, this was a bust, because if he does find out there is more significant damage to that knee, he's gonna be out for a long period of time.
Yeah.
That Money in the Bank briefcase is not going to get cashed in. It may not end up getting cashed in if he's going to be out for a good amount of time. Also, depending on how well he heals. If he's got John Cena's healing ability, he'll be back in like 4 weeks.
God, yeah.
But it's like you have the opportunity to do this, but for some reason, like it's almost like Triple H is too nervous to pull the trigger on somebody. But yet they weren't with Jey Uso. Like they went right to it.
But they let that, I mean, they kind of let that hang on for a long time before finally, like you said, taking the training wheels off. I mean, look how long it took Vince to finally let, Daniel Bryan go to the top.
Yeah.
You're right. It's like sometimes they just hesitate for a while.
But I mean, you have stars. They just have to get over the hump of bad booking to get past it. Like some people are succeeding. Like LA Knight did get over massively on his own accord. Same thing with Jacob Fatu. So it's like you have stars. You need to build them, because at some point Roman's going to leave. He's not going to come back. Cena's leaving the end of the year. Punk is in his mid-40s. He ain't going to be around much. He ain't going to be around for too much longer. Rollins, eventually his body is just going to give out. AJ is going to retire soon because he's in his 40s. Damian Priest is in his 40s. Drew is knocking on 40 if he's not over 40 already. Like
he's close. Let me see.
The guys you have who like you're pushing, like they're
he is 40.
Yeah, like they're right there at 40. I mean, Cody's 40. Cody is 40 now because he's born 85. So, I mean, yeah, I know like it's not like a 40-year-old in 2025 is not a 40-year-old 1995. Arn.
Yeah, right.
Except Arn wasn't even 40 in 95. Like Arn turned 40 like 98, but still, like late 30s. It's a different time.
Yeah.
But eventually these guys are going to go because they can't do it anymore. And then you're not going to have any stars.
Yeah, like I would like to have Roman around on a semi-part-time basis because I want his stuff to be special. That's why the Bloodline was so great for so long, because he wasn't there every single week. And that's what I appreciate. But, if the way things are going, man, I just read that, Roman's going to be around every single show now up until SummerSlam. So not sure. I guess they're going to go with a 6-man tag at this point.
Just give me one. Give the fans what they want. Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker. And if Braun Breaker wins that match, which in all honesty, he should. Because then you can build the War Games, and then you get Roman get his win back.
I want Roman to get the title back. That's
but having Braun Breaker go over Roman builds him up as a star, as a legitimate star.
Do you think they're going to book that?
Probably not. I mean, if I was booking for the long term, you have to look past the current pay-per-view that you're in.
Correct. You have to build much forward. Yeah.
And now, now that I'm thinking about it, they got too many shows.
Yes.
You have too many damn shows. Saturday Night Main Event is great, but you should get rid of whatever pay-per-view you have in that same month. Because you want to make Saturday Night's Main Event feel great. You got it 4 times a year, great. Then those 4 months that you choose a Saturday Night Main Event, no PLE or pay-per-view. None of them. Make that the show. Evolution is an outlier because it's a women's only show. But bring that once a year. and build into it.
I
Like
agree.
build it up. Because Evolution was really fucking good. And honestly, all it needed was some build.
That's all it needed.
And
Totally agree with you.
I know you weren't the biggest fan of Naomi cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase and Io and Bria's match, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, she just became the hottest fucking woman in the company. Like she's became like the most talked about woman in the business because she like ruined what was potentially match of the year to cash in the Money in the Bank. Like you can't buy that type of heel heat.
I guess we'll find out. I mean, how long they keep that strap on her and what kind of programs. I guess she's going to be programmed with Jade Cargill moving forward.
Well, we know Jade. Or no, because Jade won the Queen of the Ring, and she's on SmackDown, so she faces Tiffy at. I think she'll face Tiffy at SummerSlam.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because Naomi is going to be exclusively on Raw because she has the WWE title or the WWE Women's title. So or the World Heavyweight title. So Jade's on SmackDown, so Jade would face the SmackDown champion.
Yeah.
I think what they do with Naomi, I think it's going to build to WrestleMania next year, triple threat with her and Jade and Bianca.
That's probably where they're going to head with that. Yeah,
because I think within the coming months, we're going to see some tension between Jade and Bianca. That's going to come to a head. Possibly a one-on-one match at War Games or the Rumble.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
I mean, you could have them both win the Rumble if they go over at the same time, and then they both get to face Naomi.
I guess we're going to see how SummerSlam plays out. But yeah. All right, let's get to Monday Nitro.
42 minutes later. I mean, we had a good discussion. So
let's try to move through Nitro pretty quickly here, since it is a 2-hour show.
And it felt every fucking minute.
You're damn right it did. They are live from somewhere. Your hosts are Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko. Probably my second favorite announcing crew of the 90s. They kick things off. Yeah. Big Bubba versus John Tenta. Before the match, Tenta clarifies that he's not a fish or an avalanche, but a real living man. How about that?
To respond to your question, Chris, they are in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, another North Carolina show. Here we go. Tenta attacks, then runs at Bubba with scissors. Bubba wisely runs away. This match lasts a minute. Amazingly, though, the feud does get worse from here. But, we'll get further and further. George, your thoughts on Tenta's new finish being run at somebody with scissors?
Listen, I was taught at a young age to never run with scissors.
That's right.
But then Weird Al released an album about running with scissors. So I was conflicted.
Yeah.
But
same.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Run with scissors. However, it's not going to generate any interest from me for this match at all. Especially since I already know that's leading to one of the worst pay-per-view matches of all time. Which is a shame given both competitors.
Right. Next up, the debut of future WCW Tag Champions, High Voltage versus the Faces of Fear. High Voltage, just two roided up clowns. Just so bad.
Somehow, Kenny Chaos made a career out of this.
He did all right. But whatever.
He retired in 1999.
He did. Yep. His partner Ruckus later on during, they get a little bit about 3 minutes into this match. He gets slammed by Barbarian. He hits a top rope belly to belly, a double flying headbutts. And then the Mafia kick from Ming finishes off High Voltage at 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So we can officially, right off the bat, consider these dorks squashed. So
done. They were
thank God.
squashed when the match was written out. They're like, oh, we're going to, it's your debut. We're going to have you face to face to Fear. They should be like, well, fuck. That should have been a response.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Meanwhile, Sting and Luger accused the Steiner brothers of taking cheap shots last week. This was obviously all leading to something that never was going to pay off due to a dramatic change in direction of the company a month later. But still, it would have been nice to see a nice little payoff between these four guys. But, reasons.
Well, brother stamp.
Yep. Disco Inferno versus Sergeant Craig Pittman. Whatever. This ends in 1:40.
This ends in just Disco giving up. He's like, no, I'm done. I don't want to fucking.
Just really.
What is this fucking show?
Dude, so far, a show that should never have gone to air if this was their plan.
Man, we talk about Dynamite and Raw being fucking ice cold. What the fuck was this open? No one let you know. There were 2 dark matches for this show, and Medusa was in both of them.
Why am I even here? Lord Steven Regal versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Why are any of us here at this point?
Later on in the match, the Blue Bloods are out to surround the ring while Duggan tapes his fists or does something with his penis. But Regal rose him up for the pin at 4 minutes and 25 seconds. This was only great because of, the facial expressions we get from Steven Regal. Steven Regal makes everything wonderful, but, not exactly a stellar way to get him ready for his match against Sting at the Bash. But, I will say Regal cuts a badass promo after this match. So I got to, hats off to Regal for making the best out of his TV time here.
Thank God somebody professional showed up to work.
Yeah. That's all right. It gets worse here.
I know.
Kevin Sullivan versus Prince Iaukea. All these jokes write themselves. This is Iaukeia's debut, by the way. And they have Sullivan, this fat pig, just blitzing the poor guy, hanging him up on the tree of woe.
Somehow, Prince Iaukea survived this fucking burial. And went on to have a pretty solid WCW career.
Yeah.
Multiple time cruiserweight champion. Plus, he eventually turns his name into the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea. As he comes out with with all the Prince, with all the pageantries, if you could imagine Prince being a wrestler and giving him Tigress as his valet and naming her Paisley. That creation was beautiful, and it was wasted in fucking WCW in 2000. It's such a money gimmick that would have worked.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
I will say, this next match is, this from 1980 to 1989 probably would have sold out every arena anywhere that they went to.
Definitely the Omni.
Definitely the Omni.
Ric Flair. Maybe even the Cow Palace.
Oh, definitely the Cow Palace.
Definitely Cow Palace.
Ric Flair.
You and me are selling at the Cow Palace.
Oh, I'm there. Ric Flair, I'm hanging from the rafters. And knowing that building, I might fall.
Oh, you're definitely going to fall. Lisa. No, never mind.
Let's not. Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, wrong show. Ric Flair and Arn Anderson versus the Rock and Roll Express. This match, George, went 18 minutes.
Why?
Dude, this should have been, and I was actually kind of excited. I thought it was going to be really entertaining and probably steal the show. But it really, the last 5 minutes just felt like a retread of probably 80s matches that they had over and over again. And you could tell the Rock and Roll Express lost a lot of steam at the end.
Man, I'll tell you, even in 95, those haircuts were outdated, and they still fucking have them today.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Keep the gimmick alive.
Retire, guys. Please fucking retire while you can still walk.
By the way, I think it was my favorite thing on the entire show, regardless.
Well, considering the show.
Yeah. Bobby Heenan confirms the rumors that he will indeed be managing the Horsemen at the Bash.
No. He is not managing. He made a promise. He was never going to manage anymore. He is coaching the Horsemen.
He's an advocate.
Coach Heenan.
Coach Heenan.
He trained with George Hallis to learn how to be a great coach. Probably.
We get another wonderful promo to let us know that Hulk Hogan is still employed by the WCW.
Another Hogan blowjob on a show that he's not at.
That's exactly what it was.
Which got way more time than most of the matches did on this show.
Especially the next one. WCW World Title match here, ladies and gentlemen. The Giant versus, you guessed it, the Ice Train. Ice Train yells at Jimmy Hart like a moron, then Giant just choke slams him at 30 seconds. Scott Norton comes out to defend his partner, so he gets choke slammed twice as well. Good shit here.
Why was the Ice Train given a World Heavyweight title match?
Because reasons.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad you explained it.
I did. I explained that the best way I could.
You couldn't have been more thorough with your explanation, as if you were writing a dissertation, as if it was your thesis and you were going to get a doctorate at the end. You're like, I'm going to get a doctorate in thugonomics. And all I got to do is write this thesis about why the Ice Train is getting a World Heavyweight title match against the Giant.
Ice Train, man. Nope, we're getting there.
Not yet, Dean. Not yet.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Scott Norton versus Hugh Morris, because, we didn't get enough of Scott Norton.
We didn't get enough Hugh Morris.
Might as well just say, hey, Hugh, go out there and fight Scott Norton. So I guess we got to keep Norton strong, though, because he does, lose. So let's keep Scott Norton strong, right? This is just insanity. I mean, Morris goes up for the finish. Norton catches the moonsault, pins him after something, I guess. Minute 10. I guess it was a power slam, but I still don't see how this is making him strong after he just took 2 choke slams. I don't understand here. Or don't have him come out at all and just beat Hugh Morris flat out. That make him look strong, right? That's what you could have done. Why can't Ice Train just take a choke slam and leave?
Or what you do, you have Hugh Morris beat Scott Norton since he was just murdered in the ring by the Giant. And then the next week on Nitro, you have the Giant and Hugh Morris take on Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
Considering how they're a tag team. And the Giant is in the Dungeon of Doom with Hugh Morris.
That's right.
But here I go booking again using my fucking brain.
No, the problem that you always run into is you like logic.
That is my problem. That's one of my many problems. Let's be honest. I got quite a few. That's one of them.
Meanwhile, Mongo and Kevin Green discuss strategy at the power plant and decide to hire Macho Man Randy Savage as their coach. Well, that decision didn't exactly work out well for them, did it?
Well, Mach tried his best to be a coach.
He did.
But, you can't really be a coach of somebody if they decide to switch teams in the middle of the match.
That's right. WCW World Tag Titles. Sting and Lex Luger versus the Steiner Brothers. Randy Savage calls in as they split screen the match with the announcers for some stupid dumbass reason. So we basically lose the first 2 minutes of the match, and then we take a commercial break. When we get back, blah, 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 we get to the end here. It breaks down again, and everyone brawls for a no contest when Giant choke slams everybody at 8 minutes and 40 seconds. But then everyone teams up and fights back on Giant, allowing Luger to clothesline him out of the ring. Forearm. Lots of action, but the match just didn't go anywhere. George, why am I seeing Giant again?
Chris, why did this match not have a decisive Victor.
That's my
Now,
point. What is Giant necessary for?
Even if the Giant doesn't come out,
Right.
just have the match end. First off, give the Steiners the win. Give the Steiners the win because Sting and Lex do not need the fucking tag titles. Lex already has a goddamn belt that he doesn't defend.
Mm-hmm.
So we already have that. So, and then like if you have the Giant cost Sting and Lex the tag titles, it gives Lex more incentive going into the Bash. Oh, and now I have to take his title because he cost me and my friend this week's titles. But
I can't even.
It's astounding. It's if you're well, we know Turner loved this shit regardless.
Yes.
But after 2 weeks of these 2-hour shows that are clearly not fucking good, they should be like, you know what? No, go back to an hour because you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. 2 hours at this moment was rough.
Yeah.
Scott Hall interrupts the wrap up, admits, vicious legal threats from Titan. Hold on. My screen just went black. Oh, we're back. Where was I at? There we go. And his accent is already changing, which is something I very much noticed quickly. Sting tries to save and challenge him right then and there, but Hall doesn't like to be told what to do. So next week, a big surprise for Sting. And for once, that would be a surprise that would pay off.
A surprise paying off on Nitro?
Right.
Tell me more.
Sting had a really good slap in the face here on Scott Hall. Look, that's a pretty badass ending to the show, George. But man, the previous hour and 45 minutes was brutal.
The previous hour and 58 minutes was brutal.
Yeah. Agreed. It was really, really rough.
It was like if you're watching this show to get like to see what Scott Hall's gonna do, man, you were just disappointed. You literally had to walk through hell just to get to like the thing that you wanted.
Yep. In terms of pacing, I thought this was a much better pace show than their first 2-hour effort. Although the wrestling was still garbage outside of the decent Horseman and Rock and Roll match. But dude, the booking just feels 100% on the fly nonsense at its worst right now.
And they're like, hey, just go out there. Hey, we're going to give you 2 minutes. Go out and make the most of it. Like, what are you going to do in that time? Like, there's way too many, like, really short matches on this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these are the types of matches that we eventually end up seeing like during the Attitude Era in WWE. Yeah, people want to fucking say Attitude was the best era. I'm like, go back and watch it. Go back and watch the Attitude Era. You'll be really surprised at how bad it actually is.
It's funny that wrestling fans are starting to saying outwardly how overrated that era was because it was.
Yeah. Like it had some great storylines, had some great moments. Like we got, literally Austin, the biggest fucking thing in the world. But outside of that, it's like, man, this is a fucking rough watch. Why am I watching Viscera versus anybody?
I agree, brother. All right, let's get over to Titan Sports. That is the World Wrestling Federation. They are a taped show. Damn it, we had a live show and we didn't know what we had. Taped from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Your hosts are Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler. And we have a King of the Ring qualifier, and so it begins. Bob Holly versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin is now running solo after deliberately losing to Savio Vega at Beware of Dog 2, which Meltzer at the time complained made no sense, but in fact ended up changing the course of wrestling. You don't say.
Well, this didn't really make any sense to me.
Nowhere in this program did I see Okada. Um,
I don't know why they didn't hold this in Japan.
I don't know why wasn't Austin wrestling Jushin Liger here as
Austin
a King of
deliberately
the Ring
lost
qualifier.
because he was going to get a new manager, and it was going to be brother love. It was going to pan out real well for everybody involved.
I will say this though, this was the first time watching Raw with Austin kind of becoming Stone Cold Steve Austin. The crowd dude here is really getting into him. And we're not even at Austin 316 yet,
Yeah.
but Austin gets to win with the $1 Million Dream at 11 minutes. He advances to the second round. This was a really good match. I really enjoyed Bob Holly versus Austin here.
Mm-hmm. Bob's always been a good worker.
Yeah,
He's always been a good worker.
Solid hand.
And we're getting the shades of the Austin that we know. Like we don't have the stunner yet,
right?
But
we're getting there.
The seeds are planted.
Yes. Mankind versus Barry Horowitz. Those are some seeds. This match went 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Whoa. Why would a squash match with Barry Horowitz go more than 2 minutes, George?
To build up Mankind.
All right.
That's the only reason.
I agree.
That's the only reason I can give you.
It's just 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
I mean, Barry Horowitz is not a slouch. He was just never fucking over because he's got zero charisma and no personality outside of being a Jew. Like that's. I'm not saying it to be derogatory and anti-Semitic, but the guy came out to Hava Nagila. Come on,
if this match.
Damn it, Vince.
If this match was in Lidditz, Pennsylvania, he's probably going over.
This match is in Manhattan, New York. He's probably going over. MSG, he's going over.
That's right. Meanwhile, we get rare footage from a pay-per-view, the pay-per-view that just passed, obviously, as they do an incredibly lame double pin finish to build to a rematch at King of the Ring. And then to continue the comedy of errors that was the entire year, British Bulldog gave 90-day notice after this episode and actually could have left for WCW at the end of the summer had he wanted to. And that's probably where the NWO third man rumors came from, which is still 1,000% dumb because that would just never be the case. He, of course, then re-signed and got the tag titles in September instead. So, yeah, Meltzer got some fun info from somebody thinking that the British Bulldog was going to be anything in WCW regarding the NWO. Just wild to me that was ever even a thought to somebody. God, how terrible. Meanwhile, a naked Goldust lounges in his den and ensures us that he saved Ahmed Johnson's life last week and that also he loves chocolate in his mouth. Awesome.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Listen, that's crap and we all know it, but it's classic Goldust, so it fucking works. So somehow it works.
Yeah.
And we're just going to ignore the fact that he was laying in the Shawn Michaels pose.
Oh, my God. I know. The Godwins versus Techno Team 2000.
Great.
This show is sliding downhill at a rapid pace. Speaking of downhill, the Body Donnas are on a search for a new manager, and we all know where that ended up. Techno Team works on Pig with some pedestrian stuff, and Eric Watts gets a standing moonsault for 2. Whatever. Phineas makes the hot tag to Henry, who dodges a charge, and it finishes with the slop drop at 8 minutes and 11 seconds. Dude, for some reason, the crowd came alive for the finish, but why is this match going 8 minutes?
I was just as shocked as you were that the crowd got into this. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening.
Maybe they were getting excited because they could feel that the end was near.
Maybe. Or maybe Sonny stood up at the announce table and they're like, hey, boobs.
That has to be the it.
Somebody screamed "cum" real out the top of their lungs. Probably Dean.
You're right. Meanwhile, Clarence Mason clarifies that he's now suing Gorilla Monsoon as they suddenly dropped the Diana angle due to her objections and Davy's possible departure, of course, and they shift the heat to that storyline instead. So by the time we got to the King of the Ring, the main event angle was basically completely dead. Just what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, when it comes to the pay-per-view, 0 people out of everybody are talking about the main event. There's only one thing anybody's talking about that pay-per-view.
That's it. Yeah. King of the Ring qualifier, Jake the Snake Roberts versus Triple H. It was stated explicitly in the Observer at the time that this is the beginning of Hunter's punishment for the curtain call, and it will probably last for quite some time. So it wasn't just something that we found out retroactively, but still, it does last quite a while. But it's, whatever. There's a lot of stalling in this match that goes on forever. We get, there's a commercial break about 5 minutes in. I mean, literally nothing was happening anyway. Back from the commercial with Hunter working on Jake in the corner as Vince talks more ridiculous bullshit about Warriors comic book, which, according to Vince McMahon, exploded into one of the highest selling comics of all time.
Wow. No other lie has ever been told with that much confidence.
Jake hits the DDT out of nowhere, gets the pin. This somehow Jake the Snake Roberts in 1996 is wrestling for about 14 minutes. Just a terrible, terrible show.
I understand Triple H had to be punished for the curtain call. But it's like I told you the time. It's like, hey, where Vince is talking to Triple H, like, hey, pal, I gotta punish you for that curtain call business that you did in Madison Square Garden. And Triple H, like, you have to learn to eat shit. He's like, yeah, I'm all right. I did something I wasn't supposed to. I'm ready to take my punishment. All right, go out and lose to Jake Roberts. And it's like, dude, fuck.
I will say, dude, Jake Roberts, who was probably just the dirt worst at this time, he just couldn't do anything in the ring. But yet, thank you, Jake, because you are directly responsible for the birth of one of the biggest WWF stars of all time in a matter of weeks.
That's it's the it's kind of like the silver lining to like this shitty gray cloud. It's like, man, like Jake is shit in 96. Like there's no way that this is going to be good, but it's like he came out and he thumped a few fucking Bible verses, and that's honestly all Steve Austin needed, and he went right from the hip with one of the greatest with probably one of the most famous catchphrases in wrestling history, if not the most famous.
You're right. I mean, how can you beat that? I mean, it's wild to think where this company's going to go in a couple weeks. This is technically, if you want to trace it back, this is probably where Austin's real push begins.
Because Triple H had to eat shit.
Yeah.
Like Triple H was, because wasn't he originally supposed to win the King of the Ring in 96?
Mm-hmm. Triple H was supposed to win. Yeah.
If the curtain call didn't happen, curtain call happens. Just an odd series of events in a couple weeks that follow, and suddenly Stone Cold becomes the hottest fucking guy in wrestling, at least for a couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, somebody did write. Somebody did say that apparently Triple H's punishment was really overblown, but he was punished. But I read this one comment that somebody made under this Raw, and it says it wasn't as bad, or revisionist history wants you to think. His TV appearances after this, until winning the IC title 4 months later, were defeats a jobber on Superstars, June 24th, a Raw loss to Ahmed, lost to Mark Mero on Superstars, defeats a jobber on Superstars, lost to Sid in the IC title. It's not a job when you're losing to Sid. Lost to Savio Vega on Superstars, a loss to Barry Windham. That's probably bad. In Your House, 11 loss to Steve Austin. Not bad. And then on October 21st, he wins the IC title. So it's literally 7 pinfall losses and 3 wins in between. Yeah, he probably jobbed every night at a house show, but he was a heel. So heels always lose mainly on house shows. He was 4 months later, George, he's the IC champion, and it's as if nothing happened.
But when they go through and they look at all those matches that he had, they were on Superstars.
Yeah.
The fucking Best of B shows.
Right.
Like Superstars was on syndication.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't appointment TV that Raw was. He's not getting featured on the A show. It's like, hey, you're going to fucking Jack the Metal. That's what we're doing. Like, we can look at it as like, yeah, like the punishment wasn't all that bad. It's like, but you're not being seen by the most amount of people who are watching your product. So, yeah, it is punishment.
Yeah, and look, I'm sure Triple H, in a way, if he looks back, maybe was okay with it because, you look at the way he was treated because now Triple H runs the entire creative. If a wrestler complains to him about being buried, Triple H can just say, hey, I was buried for 6 months and I came out one of the biggest stars of all time. So suck it up.
but didn't Vince even go on record saying that he was impressed that Triple H, didn't pout or sulk or anything. Yeah. He just, he came in, he did his job. And that's probably why his burial only lasted 4 months.
He was undeniable.
Right, it's like, all right, this guy he's being extremely professional about it. So, all right, let's reward him a little bit. Let's give him an IC title. It's losing to Sid. I mean, not too many people get it. We're going to be Sid 96 anyway. Sid was just coming back. He was getting ready to get red hot and go after Michaels for the title anyway, which he was going to eventually win at Survivor Series. Losing to Mero. Mero was getting over and they were trying to get him hot anyway.
Yep.
And then, but Superstars, you're going to be at fucking Superstars. You're not on the A show. So that's like saying, hey, we're not going to put you on Raw, but we're going to put you on Sunday Night Heat for the next 4 months. It's like, great. No one's watching me.
So Monday Nitro won the ratings war this week with a 3 to Monday Night Raw's 2.3. George, in your opinion, who won the week?
I was less bored watching Raw than I was Nitro, so I'm giving it to Raw.
Okay. God, if I could just say I think they both were equally bad. The only thing to me that maybe puts Raw over, as minuscule of a measurement as you can get, is Austin's match.
Yeah.
That's it. That is it. So I'm going to say that I think Raw probably was a better show. If Raw got a second hour here, we're probably talking about me probably not making it through both shows.
I'm telling you right now, if I had a time machine, I'd go back to 1996 and I'm watching both of these. After that first hour of Nitro, I'm turning off. I'm going to Raw. I'm not going back.
Interesting.
Because that first hour was
one of the worst we've ever seen.
Putrid.
Yeah.
Is a word I'm going to fucking use because that's what it was. It was fucking disgusting.
Totally agree. But all right, we both agree Monday Night Raw takes the victory here. They didn't win the ratings war on this week, but on this show in 2025, Raw, you're the winner.
They will eventually win the ratings war one more time before it isn't seen for another 83 weeks.
By the way, everybody, that's next week.
As Eric Bischoff so eloquently loves to state about his 83 weeks.
Isn't it crazy that next week when Scott Hall teased the big announcement that Raw still won the ratings battle next week?
Look at it this way. Whoever watched this Nitro was probably extremely unimpressed with what they had.
You're right.
So they're like, well, I'm not sitting through this shit again. So
Mm-hmm.
they went over and watched Raw. However, finding out that Kevin Nash showed up or finding out that Diesel showed up on Nitro, everybody went back because now they want to see what was going on. And there you go.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, if you guys are watching on YouTube, thank you so very much. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for notifications. We've been getting a lot of new subscribers over the last few days, so thank you very much. Really do appreciate that as always. We're making that push for 5,000 subscribers, so hopefully we get to that number pretty soon. Almost at 4,800, so we're getting there, which is fantastic. Thank you, guys. We really do appreciate it. George, thank you as always. We'll be back here next week for the June 10th of 1996 Raw versus Nitro. And we'll probably have more current stuff to talk about. We still got SmackDown coming up on Friday, and then Raw, obviously, on Monday as the lead into SummerSlam continues. Let's see if anything starts to get built into SummerSlam. I'm interested in seeing what goes on here. And maybe by next week, we'll have a more clear view on the injury and the timetable for Seth Rollins. So we'll see. So for George Rogers, I'm Christy Francesco. This is the Hot Tag Wrestling Show, and we'll catch you all down the road. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. Bye-bye.